Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports, part of the BSing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Today, here with me, as per most of the time with football or fantasy-related subjects, is the guy looking at his phone, not paying attention to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Jesus, so
we
aggressive.
we have today for the second annual Tight Ends Ranking Show. He was on the recording last year. This year, he is live in person at the Fantasy Football Expo here at Canton. Mr. Joey Silva.
Yes, sir. Raider Nation, baby.
Yeah, so we've got Raiders, we've got Broncos, we've got, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. And like I said, today is Dynasty Tight End Rankings to conclude the rankings portion of the rankings portion of our episodes. We will get into some hot takes later, coming down before the regular season starts. But gentlemen, Fantasy Football Expo, who's excited for that?
Oh, of course. Who isn't excited for that?
We're
going to go.
Come here, so.
Yeah, meet a bunch of people that we've only met online.
Yeah.
And have a good time with it.
Yeah, a bunch of nerds just like us who love fantasy football, and we are down for that. We are here for that. But first, we got to talk about some tight ends. Last year's episode had some controversial picks, more particularly on this side. And a couple of those individuals really panned out last year. However,
both of them panned out last year.
A couple does mean two. I'm glad you caught on to that, Jake. Using, both brain cells you've got there. Couple brain cells you've got.
You're a funny guy today. You're so funny today.
So rolling right into it, the S tier, we will let the guests lead off. Joey, how many players do you have in your S tier?
4.
Oh, shit, this is going to get interesting.
Interesting.
4.
He's got 4 of them, ladies and gentlemen.
I have 2.
I have 2 as well.
I'm curious to see who your 2 are. So then, how many players do you have in the A tier?
Let me see. So S, A, B, C?
That's generally.
Okay, that's generally how we do it.
Shit, well.
I mean, you can have as many tiers as you want. Like, it's your
Well, I had tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, so maybe tier 2 at this point.
Yeah.
4 as well.
Okay, so you have 4 as well. I have 6.
And
then in my A tier.
In your A tier? Oh, I got 3 in my A tier, but I could definitely see where 6 of them are. I just kind of want to see where they go, and we will get to that.
So,
I mean, I could split up the A tier for me and have 2 S and then 2 A.
So the way I did my tiers was when I got to a point where I was like, I definitely want this player over this player in most, if not all, types of scenarios. I was like, that's got to be a teardrop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how you guys divided your tiers, but that's kind of where I was like, at this point, like I definitely want this player over this next player, no doubt about it. So yeah, in my B tier, I have 3.
Okay,
so we have this reversed. My B tier, I got 5.
Okay.
I have 5 as well.
Okay. So 4, 4, 5 for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
4, 4, 5. 11? You have 1 C tier player in your top 12? Okay. I see it.
Well, actually, that's 13. 4, 4, and 5.
No, there's 13.
Yeah.
No, I went to public school, man. It's kind of rough for me.
1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 3. I miscounted.
3.
It was
Joey went to public school as well.
Bro, tier 1 had 3, 4, 5. There you go.
Okay, so 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
that
3,
is
4, 5.
in consecutive order, so we know he knows how to count.
Yes.
You know what numbers come before 3, 4, 5. And then C tier, since you didn't have a C tier, how many did you have?
My C tier, I mean, for the math, I only have 2, but I have 5 that I would love to talk about.
I have
honorable mentions, if you will.
I have 5 in the C tier, but there's only 2 names that I really want to talk about because I can't decide who I want to put in that 12th spot.
That is fair.
So leading it off, S tier. Joey, you said you have 3. Give us those 3 names.
So as number 1, I know last year I said, who did I have as my? I forgot my number 1 last year, but I didn't have Kelsey. But this year I got to put Kelsey as my number 1.
Okay.
Reason being is because he hasn't slowed down, right? But it is his first season with lower than 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
His first season, 8 seasons, 9 seasons?
He also missed 2 games, I believe.
2 games,
yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's still on that pace to keep going at it.
He did sign the contract extension as well. So
yep, 2 years through 2026. Said he's going to ride it till the wheels fall off. So
yep. And then second, I got Mark Andrews.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said it might be a little jumbled up because I don't have Sam Laporta over him.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Veteran over because going into his sophomore year, yeah, he had 10 touchdowns to inflate his fantasy numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason being I put him Mark Andrews in front,
Okay.
and then third would be Sam Laporta.
Okay. Yeah. So I have Sam Laporta in my S tier, and I have Trey McBride in my S tier. So the reason I have Trey McBride in my S tier from week 8 on, so this is right before Kyler Murray got healthy. From week 8 on, in those last 10 games, he had 8 top 12 finishes. On a 17-game pace, like if you take from week 8 on and make it a 17-game season, 145 targets, 112 catches, 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns, and in tight end premium, it's 18 points per game. I think that's very elite. I know they added Marvin Harrison Jr. for some target competition. However, I think Kyler Murray can definitely support 2 fantasy relevant options. And with how bad that defense is, I expect him to be throwing the football quite a bit. I think Trey McBride's kind of earned his way into that S tier with the absence of Zach Ertz.
Oh, yeah. For me, I only have the 2. I have Kelsey and Andrews as well. But I can easily make an excuse for Trey McBride being there. He balled out.
So no Sam Laporta?
No Sam Laporta. I am not a big Sam Laporta fan. I think he was touchdown inflated.
Yeah, that's how I feel
He
about
had 10 touchdowns. The next closest in the top 10 had 6. So that's 24 points right there, just on top of it. And to me, I don't think he gets that again. There's so much target acquisition there. I know he's a good red zone threat, and quarterbacks love that, but I think that's an unrealistic expectation to keep and have. And now that they have Jameson Williams, I don't think – I mean, they have him for the whole offseason and the whole season this year.
And you're also throwing Gibbs.
And-
Monte Brown put in that, get
And
a
then you have
1,000.
Montgomery
Get
taking
whatever
goal
you
line
want.
carries. You can see a bunch of things here. And
So
I know Bolton in the chat said Trey McBride is S tier, and then Timothy Brandt.
So my reason for keeping Sam Laporta in the S tier, and I don't really argue within tiers. Like if you want to put McBride over Laporta, like I'm good with that. And there is, I see the logic behind putting Kelsey and Andrews in the A tier. But Sam Laporta, yes, 10 touchdowns. I do expect a tad bit of regression there. However, there's also room for more volume, right? Like he did all of that with Gibbs being there, being a pass catching threat, with Monty getting the goal line work because Monty had 13 touchdowns, with Amon-Ra St. Brown putting up double-digit touchdowns, 1,500 points, 120 receptions. Like every possible scenario that could have inflicted Laporta's value did, and he still finished as the tight end 2, just barely behind Evan Ingram in tight end premium formats. So I think, he's kind of showed in his rookie year, he cleared all those roadblocks. And outside of a little bit of touchdown regression, I don't know, how else you expect him to get worse. And being 23 years old, it's, sky's the limit here. That's why I still have him in S tier, but I definitely see, with some touchdown regression, how he could go into A tier.
Okay.
So let's wrap back around, Jake. A tier, how many players did you have and who were they?
I had 3, and that's McBride, Laporta, and Hawkinson. Hawkinson probably gets a lot of hate right now with the ACL tear that he had. But he is a buy low candidate for me right now because he has proven time and time again with players that he is the guy, and he is a great tight end. He played for both the Lions and the Vikings and put up great numbers. Thank you, Jared Bolton, for being a part of this.
Denver and Raiders suck.
The Raiders do suck, that is for sure.
Thank you for tuning in, Gingy, reminding us of the Broncos triple F tier, as per usual.
Andrew's health concerns drop him to A tier for me. I do see that, Bolton, for sure. But with that, he still, year after year, plays phenomenally. And, yes, he gets hurt, but he's still putting up those great numbers. And security blanket for Lamar Jackson there. I don't think that's going to change. They don't have any elite receiver. Some people can argue Zay Flowers there, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I think Andrews is clearly the number 1 in that offense. Joey, who are your A-tier players or your tier 2 players, however you had it?
It was 4, and so it'd be Trey McBride, right after Kittle, Evan Ingram, and Kincaid.
Okay, yeah, that's the first time we've mentioned Kincaid. I'm kind of surprised you left Kincaid out of your A-tier. So I got no real discrepancies there. I have 6 in my A-tier, and again, this kind of, won't really argue within. So I have Kincaid, Pitts, Hawkinson, Andrews, Kelsey, and Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers in your A tier.
I knew you were going to question that.
Oh, no, I want to hear this.
So coming out of college, there have been 3 tight ends in NFL history with the following: 25% college dominator, at least 2 yards per route run twice in college, an 85 college PFF receiving grade, a top 55 pick, and a sub 4.6 40. One of them's Brock Bowers. Can you name the other two?
Kyle Pitts.
No.
Really?
How about Sam Laporta and Trey McBride,
No, really.
who are potentially S-tier tight
never
ends?
have known that.
So knowing that, yes, the avenue for immediate success doesn't look great for Brock Bowers, but let's not sleep on the fact that Brock Bowers is the best college prospect tight end we have seen ever. He's better than Kyle Pitts, truthfully. So I do think that, yes, he's at the bottom of my A tier because he hasn't done anything.
What number do you have him at again?
8.
Damn, dude, I think that's pretty high.
So, but I'm betting on the talent. I think talent wins out. That's where I'm going with that. So might look a little bleak as a rookie, but to my point earlier, Trey McBride's rookie season, was non-fantasy relevant at all, and then really came on, second half of his second year. So I could see a similar path for Brock Bowers.
You don't see Michael Mayer taking some of those targets?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring
And then
up.
quarterback situation, AOC and Gardner are in a fight right now, and they don't even know who's a solid QB1. That's for me. And then Devontae Adams, I don't know, man. That whole offense is just –
It's not a great offense.
It's not. And putting Brock Bowers that high on your list.
And you got to remember, this is Dynasty, so we're thinking Brock Bowers is going to be there for at least, the next 5 years.
And situations change so regularly. If the Raiders made one move to upgrade their quarterback room, we would look at Brock Bowers in such a different light, whether it was drafting somebody high next year or, maybe picking up a decent free agent who's better than Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. But that's kind of how I see that. So,
Timmy, we have no idea if Minshew loves his tight ends because, let's be honest, who on the Colts last year was a consistent tight end?
And in his 2 starts with the Eagles, I think Dallas Goedert may have caught a touchdown each game, but I don't think he was super heavily targeted.
Yeah, so we honestly have no idea about that one, Timmy. And Bolton, you said rookie tight ends, or tight end is a rookie quarterback's best friend. I'm glad you like Hawkinson in the A tier, but I don't think J.J. McCarthy starts this season.
I don't either.
I think it is Sam Darnold's. I think they paid him good money to do that. And after everything we've seen and heard, I don't think that's going to change.
T.J. Hawkinson balled out with Jaron Hall and Josh Dobbs as his quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. He's quarterback proof.
Kevin O'Connell is a mastermind and will scheme up anything to get, Sam, the most he can out of Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy. T.J. Hawkinson has had elite seasons with Detroit. He had an elite season last year. Probably would have finished tight end 1 if he didn't get hurt. So,
absolutely.
Again, absolutely unbelievably talented tight end, and he's only 26 years old.
He got hurt, missed 2 games, and still had 127 targets, which was the second most of tight ends.
With Justin Jefferson there for, at least some of the season,
Yeah.
Jordan Addison there. So there's some target competition, and he still did that.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine.
Oh, he'll be absolutely fine. And like I said, I think he's a buy low candidate right now. If you can buy him low for a late first, I think that's easy money.
Mm-hmm.
Personally.
Yeah. But, I knew Brock Bowers would give me some slack. And then some notes on Kincaid, why I don't have him in the S tier. He might be the biggest sell candidate of the top 12.
Mm-hmm.
Without Dawson Knox in 5 games, 7.4 targets, 6.2 receptions, 56.2 yards, 16.9 points per game on a tight end premium 1.5 basis. With Knox, drops to below 5 targets, less than 4 receptions, and 35 yards a game for less than 10 points per game.
So I thought you were a huge Kincaid lover.
Until he clears the Dawson Knox hurdle and proves it to me, not an S tier player.
See, and that's why I have him on the B tier. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Joey? Yeah, go ahead.
I got Jake Ferguson, Njoku, Dallas Goedert, Kyle Pitts, and T.J. Hawkinson last.
Okay.
Just because of J.J. McCarthy. I don't like him.
Even though we both just said Sam Darnold, said Dobbs made him look good, but
yeah,
it's fine.
Guess
Guess what? We don't like Michigan. It's fine.
Oh,
Man.
no, well, you don't like Michigan. I'm neutral. I don't particularly like them either, but I don't think J.J. McCarthy is actually going to be a bad NFL quarterback.
I don't think he's going to be a great one. I think he's going to be a serviceable
I think he's going to be better than Jaron Hall and Josh Dobbs.
I don't know. Josh Dobbs kind of balled out for a little
Josh
bit.
Dobbs balled out for 2 games.
Yeah, it was like 2 games, and then the next one.
The potential
Really
is
bad.
there. That's all I'm going to say.
And then what
it's
happened
not.
against the Raiders? 3-0? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Josh Dobbs balled out like his first 2 games for Arizona and then sucked, and then got traded. Balled out for his first 2 games and then sucked for the rest of the year.
Hey, you know what? You just throw him in for the first 2 games. You start 2-0, and then you run from there.
But yeah. So, what about your B tier there, bud?
Okay, my B tier is Kyle Pitts, Dalton Kincaid, Evan Ingram, Kittle, and Bowers. You can mix those, jumble them all you want. The order doesn't really matter. Those are my B tier. You are happy with these guys on your team, but you are not 100% convinced or comfortable that they're going to be consistent. And so that's what I want to see. And if any of these tight ends become consistent, they can do it. And Ingram is consistent. He's been top 5 tight end the last 2 years.
He was top 3 last year.
Yeah.
Number 1 in tight end premium scoring.
Yeah. So Ingram's there, but he is older. And that's the only reason I have him in the B tier. But he can easily be put in the A tier because he'll probably be there for the next 3 years. Tight end friendly scheme with
Doug Peters.
Yeah. And to me, any of these players, I want to see consistency. Kittle's getting old, so that's why he's in my B tier.
There you go.
Well, what we got here?
No, the other one.
We got a new.
We got a few.
Can we get a Fly Eagles fly and a beer chug? Well, you missed the beer chug. That was pregame. We got to drive to the Expo after this, so we're trying to keep it a little rated G for now. Bolton comes in, comments, Pat Fryermuth is a high B tier sleeper this year. I'm calling it now. Actually, we are going to get into Pat Fryermuth a little bit.
We'll get into that.
We had a discussion about that before the show as well, so we will be talking about Pat Fryermuth. Good thing you said that. My B tier is 3 players. I have Jake Ferguson, Evan Ingram, George Kittle. My B tier is kind of, the end of where I'm at least comfortable with my tight ends, right? I'm not necessarily looking as my primary position like, hey, I need to make an upgrade here. But at the same time, the ground could potentially fall out from these 3 individuals, right? Evan Ingram, while signed an extension, they can't get out of that contract after this year. So looking down the road, if he doesn't perform the same way he did this year, could potentially be out of that tight end friendly scheme in Jacksonville and back to, his New York days where he couldn't
catch a go ball to save his life.
Couldn't catch a cold in the Arctic if he really tried. And then George Kittle's always been boomer bust, but he's mostly been inflated by good games, but he has those stellar games, and now he's 30, 31.
Yeah, that's old. If he balls out like he did with those 3 touchdown games, you're gonna win the game.
Yeah,
which is that, like 40-something points?
He's a great best ball player.
Oh,
great best ball player. But as far as consistency and fantasy, it's not all the way there. Jake Ferguson, though, interesting stat about him, led all tight ends in the NFL in red zone targets last year with 23, but only had 5 touchdowns. So there is some room where his touchdown usage goes way up and he climbs. However, if the red zone targets come down, then it's concerning. So that's why I have him in my B tier. I wouldn't necessarily be looking to move off of him or improve the position, but I understand that there is some volatility with that tier.
I mean, with CeeDee Lamb, getting traded eventually.
Well, I mean, we got to talk about that here after we get done tight ends. But the Cowboys also didn't add any, significant weapons in the offense in the offseason. You've got CeeDee Lamb, but who do you have after that Dak really trusts more than Jake Ferguson?
No, exactly. And that's why Jake Ferguson's in my top 12. He's just a C tier. I want to see consistency here. I want to see that he can get the contract extension. If Dak's still there, that's what Schultz did, and that's what Jake Ferguson is doing right now.
Did you leave David Njoku out of your top 12 this year?
No, I put him in.
He's here. He was I just named him off. I think
he did name him off.
He's 9.
9?
Yeah,
okay.
Number 9 on my list.
Yeah, so David Njoku and Dallas Goedert are the 2 names I have fighting for number 12. I probably lean – both of them have their issues, and I might look to improve on both. Where Njoku, it's just been consistency throughout his whole career, and Goddard's been health. I think Goddard's a little bit more consistent than Njoku, which is why I have him a little higher, but he hasn't played a full season ever in his career, and now he is approaching that 30-year-old mark where he's 28 years old, I think, coming into the season. So time for Dallas Goedert to shine or, shit or get off the pot.
Oof. Yeah, I was about to say, Goddard to me, he didn't make my top 12 just solely based off of he can't stay healthy. When he's healthy, he's there. He's getting your points. He's doing everything you need. But my C tier is Njoku and Ferguson for what we just talked about. Njoku, I think, is having his coming out parties there. He's had back-to-back tight end 12 or better seasons. He also, his second year in, had a tight end 1 and then got injured. And then he's slowly been building up that rep, and he's consistent again. So I'm kind of interested to see with Amari Cooper there. You have Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore. I think he makes a strong pass at being the second target there.
I think he's firmly the second best receiver there. I know you're a big Jerry Jeudy guy, and
Not anymore.
Oh, he's 100% second. Jerry
Yeah.
Jeudy, come on,
He's
Yeah.
dead to me.
Jerry Judy's
garbage.
not good at
Garbage.
football.
Garbage.
Yeah, so you're a big David Njoku supporter. Why do you have him at 9? It seems a little high.
I don't think that's high. I mean, he produced last year, right?
I see a path for it.
I mean, after that, I got Goddard, Kyle Pitts, and Hawkinson, and Jake Ferguson. Like we talked about, Ferguson's probably going to get more targets now that Gallup is not there, right? And Joker right after. I mean, why do you think that's high? I don't think that's high at all.
So you
To
have
me, I feel like that's kind of on the low side.
you're a little lower on Kyle Pitts than him and I are.
I love Kyle Pitts. I specifically love Kyle Pitts because
Well,
Kirk Cousins said he's going to get the ball.
Do you remember?
And the
okay,
last time he had a competent quarterback, Matt Ryan, what did he do his rookie year?
I understand that, but remember last year, all this shit talking about Kyle Pitts, why are you so high on him? Because of Kirk Cousins coming in?
Yeah.
But we don't know yet, right?
Last year he had Desmond
Yeah, but
Ritter.
we still don't know yet.
Where's
There's
Desmond
no
Ritter
Achilles
at?
there. And then if you
Chat, where's Desmond Ritter at right now?
He's a backup in Arizona.
I know. I was just
Fine.
hoping the chat would tell me.
that's fine.
It's fine.
That's fine.
Totally
Yeah.
fine then.
I'm the firm again. Kyle Pitts is only 23 years old. He's a lot younger than some of these other guys on the list. I think he's the same age. I think he's younger than Trey McBride actually.
He's the same age as Laporta.
yeah.
He's younger than Trey McBride. And yeah, he's the second youngest tight end in this top 12 that we have. Pitts is 23. Laporta 23.
So
Pitts came into the league at 20.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I drafted
Just
him.
turned 20.
So
I had so much high hopes
So
for his first
you
rookie
guys
year.
have Andrews in your S tier. I have him
Yeah.
in A tier. So it's injuries for me. And looking at the numbers there, if you look at his targets on a per game basis, you would think that he earns probably 130 targets a year, and that's not the case. Outside of the season 2022, I believe it was, where he finished as tight end 1 on the year, I don't think he's earned more than 110 targets in the season. He's just been, really efficient because he's a really good player, but he's not getting that elite target share. And I think combined with injuries, that kind of makes the floor just a tad bit shaky. I still think he's the number 1 target there. I think he's, obviously a top 6 tight end and definitely somebody that I would be very happy to have on my team. But I just think that there's, a little bit of what if, and that he's, going to be 29 this year, I believe. You have the ages written down.
Yeah, he's 28 right now.
Yeah.
So probably 29, but I mean,
Not too bad.
And as a tight end, it's not bad.
Yeah, Kelsey right
Yeah,
now
Kelsey.
is 34, dude. Like, age right now
No,
for
he
tight ends,
he
the
just
older
turned
you are.
35.
How long do we
I
ride?
shit you not. He just turned 35.
How long do we ride like the Kelsey train of like, oh, tight ends will be good into their mid 30s because Travis Kelsey can do it?
I think he's a unicorn. He runs those 8 yards in and then gets 4 more yards, gets tackled. Look, he doesn't do anything crazy.
No, he has a great understanding of how to find holes in defenses.
Yeah, in zones, and that's what you need in a lot of your players is against zone, sit in the zone. Your quarterback should find you. You're good. And him and Patrick Mahomes have that connection. So I see him playing the next 3 years, and that's why he's in my S tier. Until he's gone,
Yeah, I can't in good conscience like take him ever out of the A tier unless, the floor really just falls out underneath.
Mhm.
He ends up like 500 yards.
fair enough.
But yeah, I think, Travis Kelsey, obviously, you're a contender if you have him, and you're riding that until the wheels fall off and the sun sets.
Yep.
And that's why he's my number 1.
Yeah, David Njoku, though, taking a very similar path. Travis Kelsey didn't break out till his age 27 season, and that's when David Njoku broke out, not last year, but the year before that, to Jake's point, back-to-back tight end 1 finishes. So that's something to keep an eye on, as well as that even with Evan Ingram, back-to-back tight end 1 finishes, these guys tend to break out a little bit older. So I think that just, makes the case more for Sam Laporta and Trey McBride, and the fact that they did that in their early 20s. How long can we see that?
And also, I think those guys are more athletic, personally. So that's where this offense is moving. Is you want the athletic tight ends who are bigger, and a linebacker can't guard you, but a safety's too small, or your slot corner is too small. And so you get these athletic tight ends that are just 6'5", 250,
Complete
running 4
mismatches,
5s.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what teams are going towards, and that's what we're kind of seeing. And that's why I feel like you're kind of getting these rookie breakouts that we haven't really seen before.
And an underrated thing to think about is running quarterbacks tend to like their tight ends more because they're a little bit more zone beaters. Quarterbacks move in the pocket, tight end kind of moves with them. That's, I feel like Trey McBride's going to have a huge season with that. I feel like that's why Dallas Goedert's very consistent with his finishes. And as we start to see more and more mobile quarterbacks get into the NFL, I think we're going to start seeing more and more tight end usage.
So Justin Fields, this is really off topic though. So if Justin Fields, right, becomes the QB1.
Oh, are we doing this?
Oh, yeah, we're doing this.
We're doing this. We're going live.
Pat Fryer move.
Pat Fryer move for you people.
Can be that top tier then.
Yes.
Right? If you,
He is I was going to present this question
right there?
is what sleeper tight end do you have that we do not have in our group here? Because last year, if you watched our pod last year, I got roasted for having Dalton Schultz and Cole Kmet in my top 12.
Hey.
Top 12 Dynasty rankings.
Dynasty ranking.
Now, 12 months later, where does he have them? You didn't hear a single one of those names in the top 12.
You want to know what's
so
crazy?
were they really top 12 Dynasty tight
They're
ends?
right
last year?
there. They're right there.
Oh.
You can make the argument.
1,
with
2,
him joking.
3, 4, 5.
You can make the argument.
Yeah, I count them as 13,
As I said.
14, 15. They're already dropping.
Not already dropping. Cole Kmet, you make the argument here. He just got way more competition there, but this offense should pass more. And I mean, if anybody saw that video that they put out there, Caleb Williams threw a deep ball to Cole Kmet. It just got
He
picked.
threw one deep ball in practice to Cole Kmet. That's why we're putting
Somebody was trying to blast Caleb Williams. I was like, hey, that was the Cole Kmet, though. I mean, we could see this.
I think we all
can
saw
see
the video
this.
where Keenan Allen went up for that ball and was like, what the fuck? Bro, come on. I don't know. I don't like
No,
Kmet.
so you got a crowded room there. That's why he didn't make my top 12. If it's still DJ Moore there, oh my God, he is in my top 12 easily. But you have Keenan Allen, you got Roma Dunze now. It's crowded.
Nasty.
And so I'm curious to see how that goes.
Do not sleep on DeAndre Swift as a pass catcher.
Oh, no, not at all.
I just traded
The
him,
Eagles
too.
just never threw to him because
Sick.
that's not what Hurts does. So that's fine. You want to know what he does, though, well? He catches passes out of the backfield well. And I think he is a great sleeper to pick up. I think he has a better year than Barkley probably this year. That's a hot take. Probably shouldn't have said that.
Who?
We're live. Ooh, that's rough.
No, but
Give me one of these for that. Give me one of these for that, bro.
We ain't making that take.
Who has the better fantasy finish?
Who has the better finish? Ooh.
I think Saquon for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sweating that one.
Even with Hurts vulturing all the 1-yard
For sure,
touchdowns.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
But we're talking about Pat Fryer here. Sorry to get off topic here. But yes, Joey, you were saying, what's your hot take on this?
Yeah.
I'm not really a Pat Fryer fan,
Okay.
but
Okay,
like
last
we were
year,
saying, right? Mobile quarterbacks love their tight ends.
I'll give some stats.
If Justin Fields comes in and plays that role,
with
what do you got him?
he was tight end 30 last year. He played 12 games, so he missed 5.
Okay,
He had 47 targets, 32 receptions, 308 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is not good. The year before, though, he was tight end 9. He's only 25 years old. Look at the quarterbacks he had. That's all I got to say here.
yeah, I know, yeah.
Russell Wilson, if he's the starting quarterback, I'm just going to give my takes here. Pat Fryer is
It's
selling.
cooked.
Yeah,
It's
he's
cooked.
100%.
selling.
It's cooked.
Yeah.
But I don't think Russell Wilson, he might start as the quarterback this year. I don't think he finishes it. You have Russell Wilson
agree.
as a $1 million veteran.
I agree.
You take Justin Fields, in my humble opinion here. You start him. What we got here?
We should live stream a BSing Sports Dynasty League with everyone who's contributed to the channel. I would love that.
We are in the talks of that, and that is something we want to do.
That'll come next January because that's startup season. That's when everybody starts discounting all really good players who were hurt toward the end of the season. So
Bolton, we are in the works of that. We do want to have a BSing Sports Dynasty League for all the fans that watch and everybody that loves football. That's kind of what we're doing.
and then the winner will come on here with a bought crown and get to talk about being a champion.
Oh, I would love that because
Well,
I'll be wearing
you,
it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry
I'm
about
wearing
it.
it. I'm wearing
You
it. Let's
could
be
you
honest
could
here.
do up your hair every time because you would never have to wear that shit.
You funny. But with Justin Fields there, look what he did with Cole Kmet last year. Look what he did. And he didn't even play the full season.
Yeah.
So-
hey, I'm gonna give you props though. I was talking a lot of shit about Cole Kmet, but
The man is a baller. The man can play tight end.
You proved me wrong. You proved me wrong.
Cole Kmet is a young George Kittle. If you go look at those game logs, he's either scoring you 30 points or scoring 3 points.
And so if you can buy Cole Kmet for the low right now, I think
If he's
Yeah.
like your tight end 2 on your roster, I'd be
You're
so happy.
so
I'd
happy
be in
for
such
that.
good shape.
But he is a sleeper that I think could easily be a tight end one again this year. And we're getting off topic again with Cole Kmet. Sorry, we keep going back to that. We're going Pat Frymouth.
Okay.
I think Pat Frymouth, athletic. In 2022, tight end 9. That's top 12. He just got hurt last year, had the roulette of quarterbacks there at the Steelers. Fields likes his athletic tight ends. He runs around. You need your tight end to run around. We just said this. Younger quarterbacks love their tight ends. So, to me, he has the potential to be a tight end 1. And so if you can get him, I bet you could – oh, man, what?
Like there's a path, right? Pat Frymouth is so cheap right now, but there's a path where Pat Frymouth is either the second best target on the Steelers this upcoming year and, kind of carries that momentum, or he's just absolutely toast this year. Like, I feel like only one of those two things is going to happen. If Justin Fields does not end up starting, I'm out. Until way late in the season, I'm out.
As a Denver Broncos fan
out.
And watching Russell Wilson just hurt my feelings year after year.
I honestly believe Russell Wilson.
We are not, Ken. We are in a cabin 40 minutes south of Canton, getting ready to go to the Fantasy Football Expo.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. That's going to be a blast in a few hours. Actually, we're probably heading after this, right?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good time. Also, thanks for everybody watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this.
Subscribe on the YouTube channel.
We appreciate everybody that watches, and we're just men that love to talk sports.
Oh, yeah. BSing sports.
That's what we do best.
So, yeah, you asked for sleepers for a top 12 finish.
Give me a sleeper we haven't talked about yet. And, chat, if you have somebody you want us to talk to, please let us know. We will talk to them. We love to conversate with y'all. And we'll talk about any players that you think for tight ends would be good. Or if you just have a player you want us to talk about, we'll talk about them. But who you got? So the people I have on my list is you got Cole Kmet. You can make a case for Tyler Conklin.
I see your league. I see your list. You got like half the league, dude.
Half the league. Dalton Schultz. And then, these two don't count. I was just doing some math down there. Luke Musgrave and Tyler Kraft. If you put them together, they would have finished tight end 11 last year because Musgrave did get hurt and then Kraft took over. But there's so much competition there. I wouldn't put any stock in that. They're just nice to have on your bench. Who knows? Maybe they come out and start dominating.
My sleeper for top 12 finish this upcoming year, doesn't have to climb into my dynasty.
Top 12. It doesn't climb in dynasty. Just give me somebody you think balls out that people forget about.
Hunter Henry.
Whoa.
Hunter Henry has a very clear and direct path to be the number 1 target option in the Patriots offense.
You're not wrong. Let's be honest.
So let me go over some of the stats about Hunter Henry, who I genuinely believe is forgotten. So if Drake May ends up, first off, Jacoby Brissett, while not a running quarterback, is definitely very mobile and will definitely be outside the pocket, which is what we just talked about. Tight end friendly, right? But Hunter Henry, that's Derrick Henry. Let me pull up Hunter Henry.
Ooh, I got one.
The king himself.
So Hunter Henry in his career has finished as a tight end 1 twice and just outside of a tight end 1 2 other times. With just how bad that receiving core looks, I don't know, man. He could very easily, if he stays healthy this year, just be a veteran leading pass catcher. And with how thin the tight end, 9 through 12 tends to look year in and year out. Like we talk about Goddard getting hurt, and Njoku's had some inconsistencies getting hurt as well. We're not sure how Bowers is going to do immediately out of the jump. There is room for Hunter Henry to sneak in there and be a top 12 tight end. I also am intrigued to see who wins the tight end battle between Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger out of the Giants camp, because outside of Malik Neighbors, again, another wide open competition for the second target on a team, and Daniel Jones, running quarterback who loves tight ends. He threw the ball a lot to Evan Ingram, who just could not catch the ball to save his life. But Evan Ingram was a factor early in Daniel Jones' career. So I'm curious to see who wins that tight end battle. That I have quite a few Theo Johnson shares. Evan Davis, if you're listening to this, he's always on the block for you, baby. Come and get him.
Overpaid.
Weight room.
So who you got, Joey?
Honestly, I don't know.
Who's your sleeper pick here,
Dude,
Joey?
I'm not really thinking.
No, these are just bonus questions.
Here we go.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I think the best candidate, I'm looking at all the tight ends right now outside of the 12 that I had.
Komet's a good option. Freiermuth's a good option.
But dang, dude,
Let me do it.
Yeah,
you
you do
you
that.
suck at this.
It's coming from the angle.
It's like driving for you.
Oh my god.
If Andrews gets hurt again, inevitably likely is top 12. I just cannot get on board this. Like Isaiah Likely train. I like Isaiah Likely. If Mark Andrews is out for the season starting in week 1, sure, I can get behind the top 12 finish. But there was a point in time where Jake, remember when we first started into the offseason, Isaiah Likely was a top 12 tight end on Keep Trade Cut, which is like the worst site ever, by the way. I genuinely do not like Keep Trade Cut.
I love it. I use it all the time.
I'm
serious.
This guy. But no.
He said, I'm serious.
I do.
I'm serious,
guys.
So I think Keep Trade Cut as an operating platform has the right idea. I think some of their values and the differences between positions, like the actual numbers in which they use to rate people, are so vastly off. But I think, like, as a general concept or idea, I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's just more like, let me skim.
I think it's training wheels. If you are new to Dynasty and you want to use keep trade cut, throwing shade. No, that's how I think about it. If you're new to Dynasty and you want to use keep trade cut as like your training wheels to kind of get a gauge on how the market values some players, or if you think a trade is way far off, some people here need to use that. Am I right?
Oh my god.
I'll use it, but
this guy.
Man's a clown over here.
Bring up your last 5 trade offers you sent to people.
Bro, how many trades did I just
hey, that one that they're shitting on you for, it wasn't that bad.
No, thank you, Joey. Thank you.
Which one was it?
I forgot what league it was. It was because they started bagging you, dude, and I was like, come on, it's not that bad.
Keep Trade Cut has ruined the minds of so many people making trades hard.
Let
That
me
site is
see.
terrible.
Agree with you there, buddy.
I got to do some investigating.
Yeah, you do the investigating. But I don't even remember where we were at, to be honest with you.
It was I don't have anything. Mike Gesicki.
Oh, that's a good one.
I was going to say Mike Gesicki
That's an
because
interesting
he
one.
just came to the Bengals.
What if T.
last-
Higgins gets traded tomorrow?
Ah,
That shit
man.
would be scary.
That would, right?
I-
Ayuk and T. Higgins? Not happening. But
Man, how many-
it'd be crazy.
How many times have we said Mike Gesicki has all the potential in the world? It just
Mike
has not
Gesicki is
been.
extremely athletic and
Oh,
has like
yeah.
a lot of the athletic traits that would indicate he could be a good tight end, as seen in his one season with the Dolphins where he was like tight end 6. But outside of that,
But he went to the Patriots last year. Quarterback nightmare there. Offensive nightmare there. I think they were the worst offense in the league. And that's funny coming from the Denver Broncos. But he goes to an offense that passes the ball. Burrow has definitely passed to like Hayden Hurst, made them relevant, and you'll have games. I think he's a great best ball pickup if you want to take that gamble in like the last pick. But
I'd be okay if Mike Gesicki was my tight end too
All right.
on my roster.
I found
man,
it.
that's a tough bargain. Go ahead.
It
What
was-
trade?
It was you receive Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson,
Okay.
and you give up Josh Jacobs, Jalen Waddle, and Pearsall.
Oh, that's an easy smash accept for you. I'm taking Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave over
Yeah,
this
but-
dude's
No, that's
No.
the one I asked for.
And then there he was getting shit on for it.
That's the one I asked for.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to get.
Oh, yeah. Well, if I'm Davis, I'm not doing that. Hell no.
It's not that bad.
I didn't think it was
He
bad.
can counter it. Maybe throwing a pick.
Well, he
or-
needed a running back too, and that's what's funny is that's why I sent him Josh Jacobs.
So I know
think-
this is the tight end show, but my issue with Josh Jacobs is if you look into the lines of that contract, it is a 1-year deal.
Mhm.
And they just drafted Marshawn
Can you
Lloyd.
break it down for me?
So he has 4 years where the first year is completely guaranteed, and I think the second year is like 20% guaranteed. So his dead cap hit, if you split it up over the next 2 years, is like $3 million each year.
Oh, wow.
Bolton asked
Yeah,
a great
so-
question.
Yeah,
man.
so I genuinely believe Josh Jacobs is there on a 1-year deal, and if Marshawn Lloyd shows he can be the dude, he's balling. Jared Bolton asks, if T. Higgins gets traded to Arizona, do you think they get 9 wins? I'm biased, so I'm curious.
I think they get 9 wins regardless this year.
Fuck no.
What? What?
I need them to get 9 wins because guess what?
What?
Okay.
I have so many Trey McBride and Kyler Murray shares.
But
No,
that's
you
fine.
don't want them to get 9 wins. You want them to be losing every game.
No, I want them to win every game.
I feel like there's no difference if they win or lose. They're still going to get the targets.
Yeah, that's true. Those guys will eat
Yeah,
regardless.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's like it could be either way.
I actually think 5.5. So Jared Bolton says
They're marked for 5.5.
they're marked for 5.5. I think that's a
And who else is marked for 5.5?
Denver Broncos.
There you go.
I think that's a pretty good line.
Yeah.
In all honesty, for both teams, I think that's a pretty good line. I say no to Jared Bolton's original question because I don't think offense is the issue with the Arizona Cardinals. Name me one defensive player besides Budda Baker, and no, not you, guy who's fan of the team. Anybody else in the chat, name me one defensive player on Arizona's team.
Oh my God.
This guy.
No, he
It's
got
either
traded.
edge or a linebacker. I forgot
No,
what
he
his
got
name
traded. He got traded.
is. Did he really?
You
Yeah.
talking about Chandler Jones?
No,
I
not
was
Chandler
talking
Jones.
the Clemson guy. I can't think of his name either.
Isaiah Simmons. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a giant now.
Yeah, he got traded.
Mhm.
They've traded all their players.
Yeah.
Patrick Peterson isn't there anymore.
Yeah,
No, there's another one.
I
There's another
actually
one.
think Michael Wilson and Zay Jones can provide like serviceable, real life NFL,
As wide receiver
abilities.
2s and 3s.
Yeah, especially being the third, maybe some games the fourth target. Let's not sleep on James Conner and Trey Benson's ability to catch the football. I don't think offense is the issue. Keeping Kyler Murray healthy and upright is the only issue they have to worry about.
But
on
they did
offense.
that, did they?
Xavier
not?
Collins.
Xavier Collins.
Xavier.
Xavier Collins.
Did you just Google his name?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you pulled it up on Sleeper. That's basically the same thing.
Yeah, same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't think of his name, dude.
Yeah, so Arizona's defense is truly, truly the problem.
Hey, Garrett,
He
if
just
you're
signed a
listening, do you like Xavier Collins or?
It says he just signed a 2-year deal.
Just signed a 2-year deal.
Yeah, I like him too.
I don't even know who that is.
I know you don't.
Yeah.
I do. I play Madden a lot.
Oh,
Fantasy
okay, cool.
on
Good for you.
Madden, so
Yeah.
I pick those
Yeah.
guys all the time.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
Like that.
But
Very
speaking of wide receivers getting traded, let's address the elephant in the NFL room, and that is Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, not the other one?
Joey, where do you think Brandon Ayuk ends up playing his first snap in the regular season this year?
Obviously not the Niners. There's a lot of my friends that are Niner fans keeping that hope alive. They're in denial. They're like, oh, he's not going to get traded. It's been too long. It's been too crazy. But I think he's gone. And obviously the Pats gave a deal he didn't want to go to because they suck. And I don't know where he ends up, to be honest. It would be nice to see him on the Steelers. It would be.
Jake?
I think if he went to the Steelers, he'd die.
That's like wide receiver U of the NFL, bro.
Yeah, where they build their own. They don't trade for him.
Well, they don't have to do any building with Ayuk. He's good enough.
I don't think either. I think he regresses tremendously in that offense. Somebody give me an Arthur Smith wide receiver that balled out.
A.J. Brown.
Did he really ball out?
He was wide receiver 12 and missed 2 games.
Ooh.
So, yes, he did ball out. 100%.
Okay, so one receiver.
With, by the way, Ryan
receiver.
Tannehill. So,
Ryan Tannehill had very serviceable years. He was your average, he was your Kirk Cousins for years.
here's my hot take about Brandon Ayuk. Plays for the 49ers. Gets the deal done.
Wow. I don't think so, man. Why? Why do you feel that?
Well,
Too
Bolton
long?
says they hold the leverage.
Which is
They
true.
do.
Which
They
is
do.
true.
100%.
Teams always hold the leverage until you hit free agency. It's not like Ayuk can afford to sit out. He would just have to play the 5th year of his rookie contract again. But I just think that you were a team coming off a Super Bowl appearance in a game where you were very close to Patrick Mahomes. Why on earth would you get rid of probably your most talented wide receiver asset? Like, what sense does that make? Who are you going to get that's definitely better than Brandon Ayuk? And why would you trade him for picks if you're in your Super Bowl contention window? Especially finding out today that the 49ers have the oldest roster in the NFL. That window is going to close. Need Brandon Ayuk.
I can see it.
Also, there's talks about Amari Cooper getting traded.
Yeah, I think that's
That would make him even older.
I think that's the only scenario where they do trade Brandon Ayuk is if they get a wide receiver back. And counter to your point, I actually think for the future, not this coming year, Drake May would love to have Brandon Ayuk on his team.
Yeah.
That would be great for Drake May's development.
But does Ayuk not have a trade clause like to where
He's on a rookie deal, so nobody has a no trade clause. Yeah, he's on his 5th year option this year.
I thought he could say if he wanted to be traded to a team or not.
No, the 49ers have granted him permission to negotiate a contract extension with teams who have vested interest in trading for him.
Well, Pickens is trash anyways, Bolton.
Bolton says
What?
Pickens.
Stop saying that, bro.
Pickens is dog water.
I'm gonna always stand by my boy George.
I don't know that he's like dog water.
He's not dog water.
I don't know that he's
I just want to get the
nasty.
reaction out of the Raiders fan.
I don't know that he's nasty, but I don't know that he's dog
No,
water.
I'm talking. Like I said last year, bro. Talent is there. He just needs that quarterback that flings it to him, and he'll make that.
I don't even know that
Give
it's
him that opportunity, man.
quarterback for
50-50
me.
balls. He's gonna make that catch.
Absolutely, but I don't know that it's quarterback for me. I think it's here.
Yeah.
Like coming out in
Yeah.
the media and openly admitting that you didn't block for your guy down at the goal line because you didn't want to get hurt, like that's some pussy shit. Like that should have you beat up in the locker room for saying that.
You want to know who blocks for their team? Tank Dell. Look how that one looked. Look how that worked out for him.
Well, George Pickens is not also 200 or not,
178 pounds.
Yeah,
Off
20
topic,
pounds.
you know who? You guys watch The Receiver on Netflix?
I did.
No.
Amon.
As a dog.
He's a dog. He needs to block too.
This dude did not have Amon-Ra St. Brown in his S tier.
Oh, you're sick. I think he's gonna be number one overall.
Missed a game
That's
and
a
was
hot
wide
take.
receiver 3 last
Yeah,
year.
dude.
That's a hot take.
I
All right.
think so.
Well,
That's my hot take.
I just got that notification that it's going to be about time to end this show here. We are going to the Fantasy Football Expo. We will be in Canton hanging out with some of the coolest dudes in the fantasy football space and ladies. You know, we don't discriminate here on BSing Sports, part of the BSing Network where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.